At about 7:30 a.m. on April 15, 1957, a just awakening Merida, Yucatan shuddered from the fiery crash of a cargo airplane right in the center of the city. Soon, word began to spread that in this crash, the Mexican superstar singer and actor Pedro Infante had perished. Who exactly was Pedro Infante? The most famous leading man of the golden age of Mexican cinema and the most sought-after singer of romantic ballads and mariachi music of his day. Amateur aviator and pilot, yacht captain and athlete, companion and lover of dozens of beautiful women, some famous, others rich, and an adopted son of Merida and Yucatan, where he lived for more than 10 years during the heyday of his fame. The accident 62 years ago today killed one of the most beloved, if not the most beloved, personalities of all Mexican society. Pedro Infante was a gallant man who, by his impressive talents as well as his great humility, earned the respect and affection of an entire nation. He became the so-called idol of Mexico. Pedro Infante's untimely death at age 39 shocked the country and scarred the heart and history of Yucatecans forever. To this day, on the anniversary of the tragic accident, Meridanos gathered to pay public tribute to their hero with songs, religious services, and remembrances. The entertainer felt a great love for southeastern Mexico, and Merida became one of his favorite cities, so much so that he bought and renovated a lavish home to spend more time in the city, as well as in the port of Progreso, where he also had a summer house. It is said that Pedro cherished these places so much because he could spend his days without being bothered by his fame as he was in the rest of the country. The story behind this story holds a darker note. Pedro first came to settle in Merida to escape from a crumbling marriage to his first wife, which led to a bitter divorce proceeding and related legal problems that would haunt him to his tragic death. In fact, it was exactly this bitter divorce battle that prompted his death. Several days before the airplane crash, Pedro got word that the Supreme Court of Mexico had issued an unfavorable ruling that produced a warrant for his arrest on charges of bigamy. Alarmed, Pedro sought to return to Mexico City to try to resolve this calamity. Because it was Holy Week, the height of vacation season, Pedro couldn't obtain an airline ticket. So, using his pilot credentials and contacts, he arranged to fly as co-pilot on a TAMSA airline cargo plane bound from Merida to Mexico City early on April 15th. The tragic accident killed not only Pedro, but also the plane's chief pilot and mechanic, as well as two people on the ground, where the World War II vintage plane crashed and exploded in a ball of fire. This monument is located in the modest Merida neighborhood where the plane finally came to rest. Just before the doomed flight took off, Pedro reportedly noted that the plane's cargo was overweight and inadequately fastened. This fact may have contributed to a mechanical failure to which the crash was later attributed. The bodies were so badly burned that they could barely be identified. Pedro's body was ID'd by virtue of a metal plate placed in his forehead due to previous aviation accidents, and a cherished gold bracelet that bore his pilot license number. All Mexico was in mourning the next day. Pedro's remains returned to Mexico City on a different TAMSA flight. His first and second wives and thousands of bereaved fans were at the airport to receive the body. Thousands more turned out to pay their last respects as his body laid in state. At age 39, Pedro's joyful singing voice was snuffed out. But his legacy as possibly the most famous and beloved Mexican entertainer of all time lives on. I'm Robert Adams, editor of Midpoint Magazine. This has been a special edition of Yucatan Insights. Please look for other videos in our series on the Midpoint YouTube channel. And please pick up a copy of Midpoint at your favorite location, or look for us on the World Wide Web. Thank you for watching. Hasta la próxima.